sewing class. You all look so classy today. Technically, I can't see you, but I always assumed that a class would have class. Well, I did dress up in my classy outfit to be in this video. Notice my green? You'll be seeing this color a lot. It's my favorite color. Most of the time when I'm sewing, I keep it classy by working like a mad banshee, not showering ever, staying up all night, looking like a zombie, and forgetting that I've been wearing the same pair of stretchy waistband pants for a week. But today I'm making a video, and so I'm pretending to have class because I have a class. Also, my hair is this long because I'm too busy sewing and making these videos to sit in a chair long enough for anyone to whack it off. So my apologies to any hairdressers out there who are looking at this video just wishing they could put these dead ends out of their misery. Hair problems aside, today we're going to talk about notions you need.
These are the bare essentials, your sewing survival kit. Before we thread your machine and get you going, you need to make sure you have this stuff. Besides your sewing scissors, your seam ripper is possibly the most important part of your sewing arsenal. It's a little like the backspace button on your cell phone. What if you just typed something totally not what you meant to say? Thank goodness for a backspace button. Your seam ripper helps you take out stitches and seams you totally did not mean to sew without ruining the fabric. You want your fabric to stay the same. If, for instance, you type something wrong on the computer, you don't want to burn the computer down. So many people think they can cut into the fabric and just start over, but that would be like burning down your computer. Bad move. That's a good way to ruin your project. What you want to do instead is use the seam ripper to carefully pick out and remove each stitch. It seems tedious until you imagine what life would be like without a seam ripper. You wouldn't want to pull out all those stitches with your teeth. That could result in some very expensive dental bills. No, a seam ripper is your best friend. Your mother probably told you never to run with scissors, but here's some other great advice. Get some decent scissors you don't use for anything except fabric. Don't let you or anyone you know use your scissors on paper. It should be the law. There should be a fine for that or something. These scissors are just for you and your sweet fabric that you love and cherish. You want this relationship to be something that lasts. You need both the large and the small pair of scissors. The next tool you'll need in your sewing arsenal is this handy sewing gauge. No, it is not, in fact, a small sword, but it will help you to battle fabric. The gauge is a small ruler with a movable notch that you can adjust to different measurements that will line right up against the edge of the fabric. My favorite use is when I'm getting ready to iron something. I need to be 2 inches all the way down a long length. It helps me keep everything 2 inches. Just line up the edge of the gauge with the edge of the fabric, and you can easily keep it straight without getting off track. Next up is sewing pins and Pinpad or Pincushion. You're going to use these more than anything besides your scissors. Pins are essential. I like a magnetic pincushion, but my daughter swears by her cactus pincushion my sister sewed for her. It is pretty cute. You will also need needles for hand sewing. There will be hand sewing involved in many projects. Hand sewing is a good cheater pants way of making things look really quality and professional when machine sewing would have required way too much skill or is impossible. A measuring tape is also so handy. Can you imagine measuring with a wooden ruler around your waist? Silly. A tape measure makes that process so much easier, and way more logical. Of course, you're also going to need thread. In an upcoming video, I will show you how to thread your machine, and you will be using this thread to do it. Please have thread. Last but not least, you're going to need a tailor's pen or chalk. I like to think of this as your spy gadget because it has disappearing ink that allows you to mark fabric without it being permanent. And there you have it. That's your basic sewing survival kit. If you have your sewing supplies handy, sewing should not be deadly. In the next video, I'll cover the parts of your machine, a sewing machine anatomy lesson, but without any dissection involved. I mean, I do try to keep a little class in my class. I can't wait. See you soon.